If Eco Death was a movie, this is it. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel Ace Film Reviews, where we analyze, critique, and enjoy movies of all kinds. My name is Jackson Muncie, and today we're taking it back to 1998 and looking at the film The Truman Show, directed by Peter Weir. The Truman Show follows the character Truman, played by Jim Carrey, as he slowly unravels the mystery that his life is actually a large-scale TV show and everyone in the world knows everything about him. Overall, The Truman Show is one of my favorite films to watch. It's very captivating, very enjoyable, has a lot of amazing performances, and I believe it deserves a lot more attention. Very quickly, I want to issue a very slight spoiler warning for this movie. This is your big warning. You have two options here. You can either take the red pill and go watch The Truman Show, form your own opinion, and experience it for yourself. Or two, don't go watch the movie. Listen to my opinions, have a biased opinion yourself, and never experience the movie fully. Now, just to get the critique out of the way, because I gotta do it for every film, there's really not a whole lot I dislike about this movie. The main concern I hear about the film is people give up on it early on because some of the shot composition and music and dialogue can come across as really cheesy, but in my opinion, those cheesy moments are setting up this structured world that we're going to get to see processed and torn down as Truman realizes what's really going on. And I think watching the world around him fall as he discovers the truth really adds to the film, and I think that's necessary early on. Other than that, I really don't have much to critique, and I have a lot of stuff I want to talk about that I enjoy this film. Now, getting into the aspects of the film I really enjoyed, and I'm going to start with what I always start with, is the acting. This is hands down my favorite Jim Carrey performance I've ever seen. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's been in countless amazing movies. He's known for his comedy. He's amazing in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I even think he's good in Sonic. But I think this movie really showcases how dynamic he can be and how much emotion he can very well portray.
Good morning!
Morning. Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Also, Ed Harris, the creator of this world that Truman lives in, he doesn't get a lot of time. He's a little one-noted, but I think he delivers a great performance, as well as Truman's wife, Lena Linney, I think is the actress's name, and she does a great job, especially as Truman realizes what's going on. She's the person who's getting all that first-hand exposure with Truman, and she does a great job of trying to balance the acting side of it, and also as she starts to break once Truman really goes over the edge. Secondly, I love the pace of this movie. In the first act, you see Truman live his daily life. He's going to work, hanging out with his friends, his wife, seeing his mom, all the above, typical everyday stuff. But there's just a few odd little pieces that are spread throughout the first act that make Truman really question what's happening, like a studio light falling out of the sky or the radio talking about where Truman's headed in his car. But while he questions what those things are, he doesn't really act on them or let them get to him too much. But then in the second act, this giant set of an island really starts to fall apart and a lot of cracks start showing to Truman. And this is where Jim Carrey really shines. I mean, he starts going off his edge and about to break at any given moment, questioning what's going on. And this is my favorite part of the movie, is the second act. And then in the third act, you see all this come together. Truman accepts what's happening and has to make the choice of, is he going to continue living this fake, safe life, or is he going to choose free will and chase what he really deserves? And I just find that plot arc and the character development so just intriguing. Also, on your first watch of this film, as you're also figuring these things out along with Truman, even though you're on the outside looking in, you don't entirely know what's going on. And when you rewatch the movie and you understand how everything's set up, it's really a lot of fun to try to watch the movie over and over again and pick out where these little hidden cameras are throughout the island. And that's just a small little fun tidbit of the movie that never gets old. One of my favorite subplots of this movie is actually Truman's real love interest, not his fake actress wife, but the woman, Lauren is her name, played by Natasha McElhone. They meet in college, and the creators of the Truman Show don't want Truman to fall in love with her. They're trying to force his eventually current relationship onto Truman. And Truman the whole time is dreaming of being with Lauren, but she's removed from the Truman Show, and from the outside looking in, you see Truman really interested and always wondering what could have been with Lauren. And then you see Lauren on the outside of the Truman Show trying to get Truman free, and watching them try their hardest to become one together is really motivating, and it's enjoyable to watch, and I think it's very well done all around. I really don't want to spoil too much about this movie, because the first time you watch it, it really is an incredibly enjoyable experience, watching it unfold and watching Jim Carrey kind of lose it. But the last thing I want to say is that the message of this film really resonated with me. I watched it for the first time roughly 2 or 3 years ago, and I've seen it plenty of times since then, but the message has only become more concrete throughout my life over these last 2 or 3 years. Despite Truman losing almost everything and discovering that every connection he's ever made is scripted, and everything he's ever progressed in is a false reality, he could very easily give up and decide to continue living in this reality as it's what's easy and comfortable to him. But he always remains with the choice of finding his way out and choosing free will to make his own decisions. And as you'll see in the movie, a lot of things are thrown at him to deter him from that path, but he still pushes forward for his own freedom. And at the very end of the film, some of the last couple sequences are some of my favorite I've ever seen, and they're the most memorable I've ever seen. And overall, I really hope you all enjoy this film as much as I do, especially those of you watching it for the first time. Please let me know what you think. And with that being said, I give The Truman Show an A, without a doubt. No shot in my mind it gets below an A. For those of you who haven't seen the film, please watch it and let me know what you think down in the comments. And for those of you that have, same goes for you. I'd love to hear your opinion on the film. And if you enjoyed the review, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting, anything. You're welcome to the channel anytime. And I'll see y'all next time, and stay excellent and party on, dudes.